Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at this Cub Cadet LTX 1042 kW. Customer brought it in and said that it runs perfectly fine. They can drive around and everything, but the second they try to engage the blade, that the mower will stall out and die. I'm going to go through the full diagnostics and repair process on this. If you have the same mower or a similar one made by MTD, if yours has this same switch and it's got the foot pedal, hydrostat, forward and reverse controls, the process is going to be exactly the same. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons as we go along if you enjoy the content. Show you exactly how it acts here. I have the pin removed from the hanger in the front and the mower jacked up a little bit. The first thing we want to do when having a problem like this is verify that the blades and the idler pulleys and everything down below can actually spin. So our idler pulleys are free. We can actually take the belt off of the front pulley. There's a couple 1/2-inch bolts that hold this bracket on. If we remove that and repeat the process up top, trying to engage the blade, if it still dies, we know we have an issue with the safety switches. If it does not die at that point, then we would know that something from the deck is impeding it from actually spinning, meaning the idler pulleys have a bearing locked up, or there's a bunch of debris somewhere where the spindles cannot spin. There's a few different things that can cause it, but looking here, I'm able to spin everything freely. So I'm just spinning the blade down below. It's not hitting anything. And that goes the same for both sides. If it's hitting anything or there's a bunch of debris, that could stop it and cause this issue. Both of these are pretty free. That brake's not working well on this side. And the bearings are a little bit bad, but I don't see any actual issues with the deck whatsoever. Again, if you're questionable about that, remove the belt from the front, just let it hang there, and then engage it again and see what happens. I've got the belt removed from that front pulley. Let's see what happens now. Once again, as soon as I engage it, the mower tries to die on us. Since we know the issue is not mower deck related, that it is isolated to something to do with the safety switches or the electrical on this, the thing I like to check first is that once we fire it up, I like to be in the run position, and then I like to click it back once to the reverse mow position. And then I like to push the button and make sure that the red light actually lights up. If it does not light up, then we know that we have some sort of issue with the reverse function of the switch. And that can cause the mower to die out thinking that it's in reverse when it's actually not. Good place to start with the electricals on these. There's not much to it though. Other than that, we basically have a PTO switch, a reverse switch, and a brake switch. Of course, there is a seat switch, but we know that that's working. If you let off the brake and get up off the seat and it dies, your seat switch is working. Let's fire this up and do that and see what happens. We do have to let off the brake before it will let us go into the reverse function though. Everything works as soon as we put it in that reverse mow mode. There is a reverse switch that sits on top of the transmission here, directly behind this plate, and it leads me to believe that that switch is bad. Because the mower thinks that it is constantly in reverse, that's why it's dying as soon as you engage the blade, unless you put it in that reverse mode. I'm going to take the battery out real quick so we can see that switch a little better. Looking straight down at the switch, it looks pretty obvious that it's not working. That's not how far that switch is supposed to come in and out. It's supposed to come back out quite a bit, which leads me to believe it's stuck. So if I hit reverse, it comes back and hits it, but as soon as I barely let off, it really doesn't come back any. So it comes back just a hair, and that's not far enough. Pretty sure that switch is bad. We're gonna take it out though and test it. It's just an 8mm or 5/16. Make sure you drop your extension and everything down in there. Just my magnet on a stick. Would have been useful. Now we've got it free, we can unplug it, bring it up. Switch just pulls straight out. Switch is definitely pretty stinking dirty. And again, it should come out further than that. We're going to test it though. Basically, if we can go to ohms resistance. If we're testing that, we should have essentially 0 ohms on one leg. Yep, so 0.0 ohms. Well, that's high ohms. Supposed to be 0 on one, and then open lead on the other. So that's open lead. This one should be 0 until it's pushed. It is now, and then when it's pushed, yeah, it's still 0. So this switch is bad. Basically, this side, before it's pushed, should have an open lead to it, and it doesn't. And then this other side should have a direct connection, which should be 0.00 ohms until it's pushed. Well, it's opposite, and it doesn't change when it's being pushed, meaning the switch is bad. I'll show you a good one in the comparison here. This is a rotary switch. Pretty much universal. We can see right off the bat how much further that this switch goes out than the other. And then if we look at the connections, there's a bunch of stuff in there. So let's compare this one more time. See if I can get that to stay at a good angle for us. Okay, open lead is what it says right now. We go on to the left side. Okay, I'll just hold it. What the heck? Open lead for the left side. Now we have 0.00 ohms. And then on the right side, we have open lead. Now those will change as soon as you push it. So my open lead will change to 0.00 ohms. And then my 0.00 ohms will change to open lead when it's pushed. Again, that other one was not doing that. It is basically staying pushed the whole time. So this is staying open lead. It's not closed before it's pushed. And this one is 0.00 ohms like it's being pushed. It's supposed to be an open lead. So this switch has failed, and it's failed thinking that the brake is being pushed. That's the problem with our mower. Our PTO switch sits just above the rear tire and just by the engagement arm. It's easy to test because you can just unplug it, and it's going to be exactly the same. Easier said than done, right? Wow. It's going to be exactly the same testing as that brake switch we just did. It's going to be the same diagnostics as that brake switch we just did. Put our meter up in here. See if I can get a good view. Gonna lock onto one side, the left at the bottom. So on these two horizontal pairs, I've got overload right now. And then as soon as we engage it, I should have a direct connection. As soon as I move that engagement forward enough that it's off, my light's right in the way too. There we go. 0.00 ohms when it's engaged, and open lead when it's disengaged. So that side of the switch is working properly. That does not mean that the other side is. The other side could be bad. So let's test those right leads, or right pair. So here we should have a direct connection when it's off, which we do. It said 0.0 there for a second. There we are. Now then when I engage it, it should go open lead. It is. That means our PTO switch is good. The PTO switch being bad could cause exactly the same thing we just saw with the brake switch. Let's just plug this in. Oop. Guess I need it to be the right way. And go straight down on there. It's a little tab that one fits into. The other one just has that screw that we previously lost. I'm going to use my magnet actually to get it down there. To try to help me get it down there, I guess. I haven't had enough coffee this morning, I suppose. Something anyway. Okay, we're on there. It does have a little kind of flange that it fits in, so you got to be kind of slow as you're going down. Don't want to ruin that. There we are. Battery box and battery needs to get back installed. I'm using my own different terminals or different bolts. I don't like the ones that come with it. A little dielectric grease on there, never hurts. There should be a battery strap here. It is missing. I'll have to grab one. I don't know if I have any of those left or not. I know I've used a couple this week. But if you do, you basically just have to push from this side to take it off originally, and then you've just got to loop it in here and kind of pull it over to lock it back in that side. Let's see how this does. Well, there we go. A nice simple one for us this morning. That's amazing. Haven't had one of those in a little while. Straightforward diagnostics, pretty easy to get to. As long as that button is lighting up, again, you know all those electronics and everything are working. Make sure that you are off the brake when you push that button. Otherwise, it will not light up and stay locked in. As soon as you hit that brake, it does go off. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully this has helped you out if you needed to get yours taken care of or had some sort of issue. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed the content. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.